Hello, I'm Peter Sully. Many of you have seen previous videos and you'll know that I'm involved with Spur Shelving, a great brand which goes back to 1952. First of all, I'm going to show you a few of the products that we make, and the first is a rustic bracket. Helps if I hold it the right way up, for taking a scaffold shelf. We make two versions, up and down. We continue to sell lots of other brackets. You'll have seen similar brackets to these. These are particularly strong. And so this is our aluminium T-slot bracket system. It fixes with two slots. You could say it's a twin slot system. This is our energy saving shelf bracket. The shelf fits on top. Heat comes up the back of the radiator, comes into the room and curls away and more efficiently heats the room. It doesn't go straight up the wall, heating a wall. Spur isn't just wall mounted shelving or radiator shelving. We also do industrial grade shelving. You might have this as freestanding shelving unit in your garage or in your shed. That was a bolted system. This is a slotted system, and we connect beams in using two slots at a time. We also have a few bits and bobs of older systems. This is edge slot, which was widely available until about 2008, but there are many homes with this product in. We've still got some stock, and you can also find it on places like eBay. Now on to our best known product, which is Spur Steel-Lok. You'll have seen these uprights on thousands and thousands of walls. You can probably see it on telly every night if you look hard. The Steel-Lok system is a 31.75mm pitch from the top of there to the top of there, and it's extremely strong. It's made of 2mm thick material, and you'll see very tight corners in here because of the way we make the shelving. We don't just press it down to get the shape. We gradually form that corner. So here's a longer length. We make various brackets. We make shelf end brackets for wooden shelves, so the shelf fits on here. We make conventional brackets that you will have seen, and we do those up to 470mm with this deep section at the back. We also make brackets which are only 2 slots deep at the back, so that's our 145mm bracket. As standard, we don't make 120mm or 170mm brackets. That's a way of telling us apart. We can make them, obviously we're a manufacturer, we can make anything if we really want to. We also do sloping brackets as well for presentation areas. Now what I'm going to follow on with is I'm going to show you Spur Steel-Lok upright compared with some other uprights that are on the market in major retailers. So as I've mentioned, twin slot can mean lots of different things. Actually, it's a very generic term. It's any shelving system which has pairs of slots in it. You'll see those in shops, in fridges, in many different applications. There are some who would like you to think that we call this twin slot. Well, we don't. It's Steel-Lok. It's a brand in itself. It goes back till 1950s, and it deserves that brand. These are some of the products you'll see in retailers. They look very similar. You'll find that the pitch slots, and I'll pick one which is more obvious, are very different. So they don't line up. So I'm lining up at the top there, just to try and get it right. And you'll see that these are out of line all the way down. They're all slightly different. Spur is almost unique. It's the original imperial size of 1.25 inches. Right, the other differences you'll see are, if you can see on the end of that, it's a splayed end, and that's because they've just folded it down by pressing, and our upright is almost vertical sides. A lot of the competition uprights are a lot thinner back to front. It means our brackets won't fit in. It means if you're matching up with our system, not only will the shelf have to take the position of the new slots and therefore deform, the brackets won't actually go in because there's not enough depth in there for the bracket, and that compromises strength. So Spur is incredibly strong. It won't move easily. Some of these others, we'll just have a look. You can see that's bending. I could probably, if I put it over my knee, I'll just do that. You know, that's pretty rubbish, I think. If you've got a child underneath that and it's not fixed in properly, just the weight of the brackets could cause that to bend. Items to fall off. This one, that bent even easier. And this one. There you go. I don't think you'd want to be stood underneath that with a great weight on a toolbox or something else. I can try the Spur. That didn't move at all. You wouldn't expect it to. The material we use is 2mm thick, good quality steel. Some of the competitors there are down to 1mm thick. They've got less depth in the upright, so they don't have any. They don't have as much inherent strength, and they don't have these tight corners. If you fold a piece of paper and put a tight corner on it, you'll know it becomes quite rigid. If it's curved corner, it's easy to bend. It's the same principle. Right, I've shown you how the uprights, different uprights will bend and how they'll actually snap. In fact, one of the items I picked up snapped as I picked it up, so it's a pity I didn't do that in the previous bit of the video. Now I'm going to show you what one of my customers said I should be doing, because he thought it was a bit of a scam just showing how the uprights bend. And this is what he did. He put a screw in here, as you'd expect, and this is a Spur upright. Yeah. Okay. That hit the ratchet stop, and this is pretty good. So that didn't deform. Now I'll show you one of the ones I did earlier. One thing I didn't show you is actually, because the cheap products on the market don't pre-treat their steel, the paint actually flakes off. Well, that's just turning the metal, but that has deformed slightly. This is, I've gone with the best one first, and then I'm going to show you as they get weaker. See, there's a noticeable bend there, and you wouldn't be able to get your brackets in. Again, I think it's just that that's dug into the wood. It wasn't able to splay out sideways, but it's significant splaying on the end there. And you know, that's your fixing. So anyway, that just shows you that whereas Steel-Lok is very strong and doesn't deform, the others all deform to some extent. That means you're almost totally reliant on the screw fixing into your wall. And as we all know, when you put a screw fixing into a wall, quite often you don't get a really solid fixing. It's why you have multiple fixing holes. And that can mean that the whole upright falls off the wall and onto whoever's below.